declare a recess at any time. Kind of fitting in the last hearing here, it's on transportation, and I was honored to have this subcommittee, which is responsible for transportation oversight for the House of Representatives, under my watch for the past term. Unfortunately, today we're back to where we've been before, and we've been some 4 times. This is our 4th hearing on oversight of, unfortunately, some of the problems with the D.C. Metro in this Congress. And those hearings go back to February of 2015, and then we did another one in July of 2015. In April of 2016, and again, this is our 4th. If you woke up this morning in metropolitan area, the District of Columbia, Northern Virginia, and Maryland, first thing I was greeted with is my colleague Jerry Conley on the radio blasting what we all found out in the report that was released yesterday. Some of the highlights of the NTSB report, we'll hear more about that, on the Falls Church derailment. And what is particularly troubling in that report is that, unfortunately, some of the information about the deterioration of the rail ties and lines in the area was reported and known for more than a year. There are questions about possible falsification of reports, intimidation of employees. Some folks were trying to do the right thing, and the safety issues were ignored, and that's a very, very serious matter. So we'll talk more about that. Again, it's the latest in a whole series of safety issues that we have addressed in these past hearings. And again, the latest report, not from us, but from NTSB, highlights that almost 17,000 open track defects are still waiting to be repaired, and some of these dating back to 2008. In a briefing on its investigation, the NTSB informed our committee that the state of Metro's rails is deplorable. Metro's current state of disrepair is that's their term, not ours, but we can join them in that evaluation. Metro's current state of disrepair is the result of years and years of deferring maintenance needs, negligence in some cases. Unfortunately, we've seen cases of gross mismanagement, and then also, most troubling for the taxpayers, as runaway costs. Mr. Wiedefeld's first safety first message has been encouraging, and we know he's been on the job a short period of time, but Metro has to continue to improve its performance. We are now halfway through the safe track rebuilding schedule, but the system continues to be plagued by safety incidents on almost a weekly basis. On July 5th, we had a second signal violation and a wreck. On July 29th, the train with 63 passengers on board derailed. On September 13th, the crowded train stalled at Farragut North for nearly 40 minutes with almost no announcements from the operators to the riders. On October 20th, 2 FTA safety inspectors were almost struck by a train that violated speed restrictions. And we continue to see arcing incidents, and want to hear more about the status of where we are there, that have caused smoke, fire, and unfortunately, at one of the first junctures, we had a loss of life. It's been, unfortunately, now commonplace that that things are so bad, they've even created a website, and that website is metroonfire.com, to find out if Metro is in fact suffering from smoke or fire incidents at any particular time. These incidents and service disruptions continue to keep riders and the entire system in constant turmoil. Early in January 2015, the previous chairman of the Metro's board praised the outgoing manager for rebuilding the safety culture from top to bottom. After years of rebuilding under the $5 billion Metro Forward capital plan, that was his pronouncement. 4 days later, unfortunately, the La Enfant Plaza incident happened, which we had a loss of life and injured 91 people. We need to know both today, hear from these witnesses, and also in the future, we've got to be certain that things are heading in a different direction with this important system. When you see headlines that show the staggering safety lapses on a regular basis, and I said to the staff, just pull me some of the clips about some of these issues, the most recent. And then I said, are there a lot of them? And I said, we'll tag them. You can see just page after page. Now, these are just Washington Post articles. I don't know why you guys didn't get the Times, too, but this is just the Washington Post. Do you get the Times here?
I don't.
Okay, good. I didn't think so. So, but this is, again, an incredible array of headlines and articles that cite that the system is broken. We've had reports even that brand new rail cars are breaking down. And I heard one report that says 5 to 10,000 miles is a breakdown record of the new cars, an average of about 7,000 miles on a car, as opposed to 20,000 for the normal period in which a vehicle should not experience those problems. So we do have multiple problems. I was stopped by an individual when I was getting a Subway the other day, and he had some photos, and actually there's a photo and a video, but maybe they could put up the photo that he took of the workers. Can we get that put up? Okay. Well, you can count about 15 workers and about, 15 individuals employed by WMATA and about 3 people working in this scene. Actually, he also supplied me, we don't have it up there, a video showing a sort of time lapse that people are there but not working. And that raises a great question when the public is seeing this kind of operation with lots of people standing around. We've got some serious issues with even the folks that are there. And I've thanked the current director for going in, and he has made good in some of his challenges. In fact, I think he's eliminated 20 senior manager positions and reduced some of the head count by 1,000. But you could see there's still a long way to go with some of the people who are not performing. And I'm going to ask some questions, too, about contracting some of this work based on performance and payment. I understand also that the union contract is not up for some of these workers, still in limbo. We'll hear on that. But there's got to be a better way to get better results and performance from those on the job. I do want to thank, again, the new director for the reforms that he's initiated. Maybe we could reterm this hearing, let's make Washington Metro great again. And that's something that we have a challenge and opportunity to do. We put an incredible amount of money into the system. I Googled last night the history of the system, and it's been around for 40 years, started with 4.7 miles. And it really is it was created as one of the finest rapid transit systems in the world, and we should be very proud of this system. It serves the nation's capital in this region. And it's a shame that we find ourselves in this particular situation. So I continue to work in an unofficial capacity to make certain that happens, and hopefully this hearing will help us rebuild Metro and restore public confidence in an important transportation system. The second largest carrier of commuters in the nation, and important in the everyday life of people in this region and to the United States of America. So look forward to working with you all, and I can turn to Mr. Conley, and I'm sure Mr. Conley will be very warm and fuzzy this morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.